very much. Welcome to my Hapkido training video, Volume 3, which includes International Hapkido Federation requirements for achieving your purple belt. The techniques presented on this tape will include kicking blocks, defense against kicks, and defense against wrist holds. Now, carefully follow along as my chief instructors, and I personally teach you these important requirements. I wish you great success in your training. Now, I would like to introduce my chief instructors, who has been trained with me for the last 21 years. They are all 5th-degree black belt. On my right-hand side, Eric Frisky. Next, Danny Cruz. Next, Mark Gannon. Well, I'm going to show you defense against front kicks, how to deflecting, and then going to next steps.
As the opponent kicks, step back, away from his force, blocking away with an open hand technique. Once you have hold of your opponent's foot, you have full control of him. As he comes forward, you step back. Your right hand comes around open, grabbing the foot. This is the theory behind Hapkido, avoiding the force of the attack.
Well, this time, deflecting with the other hand, and then the other direction.
Now with this blocking technique, you're sidestepping the attack as opposed to stepping directly back. Sidestep with your left foot, blocking open hand with your left hand. Again, holding the leg, controlling the opponent. This is in preparation for a counter strike, which will follow. Maintain a strong stance and posture. As you move, your entire body shifts at the same time. Keep your head up and eyes on your opponent. Timing is crucial. Notice how Grandmaster Han cups the hand to hold his foot up.
Well, this time, going into different direction, also switch hand.
In this third blocking technique, Grandmaster Han sidesteps to the right with his right foot and with his right hand open catches the leg. He sidesteps to the inside and redirects the foot with the right hand. This leaves his opponent wide open for a frontal counter. Controlling the leg means controlling the opponent. This technique requires excellent timing.
Well, this time I'm using forearm deflect.
Sidestep to the left by shuffling. With a circular motion, come down with your forearm, deflecting the kick. With this blocking technique, your fist is closed. Step left, circular block, avoid the force of the kick, and you balance his leg with your forearm. Again, he is vulnerable to counterattack. Work with your partner regularly on these techniques.
Well, this time I'm going to opposite direction with opposite hand.
Grandmaster Han steps right, but blocks with his left hand. He's using the tight-fisted forearm circular down block. Showing the versatility of Hapkido, stepping with the right, blocking with the left. At all times avoiding the force of the opponent's strike. By sidestepping, even if you were to miss the block, you would be out of the line of the kick. To watch Grandmaster Han is to watch perfection.
But this time, defense against front kick. After deflecting, we use various hand technique to counter. First, I'm going to use reverse punches. Slow motion. 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2.
Now step back. Open hand block, counter reverse punch, full power to the solar plexus. Notice how Grandmaster times the punch. He steps forward, and as he does, the punch is on target.
Next one will be palm deflecting and use rich hand to counter.
When coordinating this attack, step off, and as you block, your right arm goes back, triggering, and then coming around to strike. Sidestep the force of the assault, counter to the jaw, neck.
Well, this time, deflecting with the forearm and double reverse punches counter. Slow motion. 1, 2, 3. Again.
Sidestep,
1, 2.
forearm block, 2 strikes to the jaw. The most common type of street assault, as far as kicking is concerned, is the front kick. Practice diligently against this assault, and if you ever are in that situation, you'll know how to react properly.
Well, this time, reverse angle and deflecting with the palm here and reverse punches.
Sidestep with the right foot, open hand block with the right hand, counter a very strong reverse punch to the solar plexus. Again, pay attention to the timing. As the attacker's foot comes down, Grandmaster Han is inside with the counter. He strikes before the assailant can get strong footing to strike again.
But this time, forearm deflect and counter with the palm heel. Slow motion.
We praise the palm heel strike in the other videos because of its versatility and power. And here it's applied against the front kick. Sidestep, block. The palm heel is delivered to the side of the head, jaw, nose, temple.
But this time, defense against side kicks. There are many different ways of deflecting and counter the different weapons. 1, 2.
Notice how Grandmaster Han is moving as his opponent begins moving. He senses the technique, sidesteps, moves back, and counters. The counter is a back fist strike to the head. Steps away from the force, blocks with the right and strikes with the right, all with the same hand. Blocking and countering, avoiding the force.
Well, this time I move into different angles and then counter with the reverse punches.
Now Grandmaster Han sidesteps to the inside of his opponent. The opponent's momentum brings him right into his reverse punch, which is directed to his solar plexus. Notice the timing. As the kick is started, Grandmaster Han is moving. He executes the forearm block, comes in for the reverse punch.
Well, this time I deflect with the same left hand and strike knife hand to the neck.
This time the counter is a outside-in knife hand strike. This is directed to the head area. And Grandmaster Han sidesteps and moves in closely to the opponent. You must sidestep a side kick attack. It's too strong a kick to meet face on. Why meet force on force when you can just move out of the way?
Well, this time deflecting with the right hand and double reverse punch to his head. One.
Grandmaster Han sidesteps to the left, two reverse punch counters to the back of the head. Going to the back of the opponent keeps you in control, and he's completely vulnerable to your attack. He's at his weakest point with his back to you. This is the ideal position to be in when confronted.
Well, this time, same deflect, but instead of use hand to counter, lower side kick behind his knees.
This is an excellent kicking technique. You disable your opponent with a kick to the back of the knee, buckling his leg. Sidestep to the left, forearm block, counter to the knee. Watch carefully. Perfect timing by Grandmaster Han. Even before the opponent's leg comes back to the ground, he is struck behind the knee.
But this time, deflecting around and counter with the rich hands. One, two.
Grandmaster Han still taking advantage of the outside sidestep, counters with a ridge hand to the assailant's face area. Watch carefully. Simple sidestep movement keeps you in control of your opponent. As you can see, there is no need to meet force on force, hard blocks on hard kicks. This can cause injury. Use less force by redirecting your body against his body. Sidestepping, block, counter.
Last one, instead of deflecting, go right at him with the knuckles.
Now, a very painful technique for your opponent is to teach him a lesson here. As he kicks out, snap with the back fist to the top of his ankle. Very painful. Quick snapping motion. Very effective technique. Timing is everything. As he moves forward, you take a step back, snap with the knuckles, counter.
Well, this time, defense against roundhouse kick. Use both forearm to deflect and counter with the various hand techniques.
Although it is one of the most powerful Hapkido kicking techniques, the roundhouse kick can be deflected quite easily with the proper timing and sidestepping. Watch as Grandmaster Han steps in and away with his right foot, slapping the kick away with both palms and countering with a back fist to the head. You must begin sidestepping as soon as your opponent initiates his attack. Don't hesitate. Step off with the right, away from the force of the kick, slap, counter. The block will bring the opponent into you as he steps down into the punch.
Well, this time, same deflection, but counter with the double reverse punches.
You are utilizing the same sidestepping and blocking technique, but the counter is two reverse punches. Watch carefully. As you step off, you must remain in a very strong, solid stance to execute the multiple reverse punches. Slap the leg away and down, counter. Again, watch the timing. The roundhouse is such a powerful kick, you must get away from its force.
Well, this time, deflecting the same way again, but counter with the wrist hands.
Step, slap, and counter. Step away, slap the leg down. Left hand comes around, ridge hand to the jaw.
Well, the same deflection, but counter with elbow.
After blocking the strike, you will counter with the elbow, which is probably the most destructive strike in the martial arts. As you slap away, you must move in close because it's a short-range weapon. Slap the kick away, sidestep, move in with the elbow. Strike across the jaw area. The momentum of the assailant's roundhouse kick brings him right in to the short, devastating elbow strike.
This time, defense against wrist holds. Break it away and counter with the various strikes.
You're breaking the opponent's grip with the open knife hand chop. This in itself is a strike and could possibly break the assailant's wrist if he holds on too tight after you have struck. Follow the breakaway with the strike to the jaw. Strike down into the wrist. Follow with the same hand into the jaw.
This time, defense against wrist holds. When someone hold me wrist, I'm going to corkscrew into his body. Okay? One.
This introduces you to the first throw in Hapkido. Very painful for your opponent. Watch carefully. First, break the wrist hold, twisting up, completely turning his wrist, and then control him by sitting on the elbow. The power, beauty, and grace of Hapkido in action. Watch closely. Rotate your right hand, breaking against the thumb, loosening his grip. With your left hand, come around, secure the wrist. Continue the motion. He must do the flip or his wrist will break. Control the arm, apply pressure to the elbow. Many repetitions are shown so you can get the feel for the technique. You can't learn this in one viewing. You must watch it over and over. Break the grip, turn. Notice how Grandmaster Han steps in for leverage. All the fine points must be studied to master the throwing techniques. Bring the right arm up, twist, break against the thumb, Secure with the left, holding his wrist with both hands, twist, apply the arm lock as he lands.
Next one will be defense against wrist holds. I'm sweeping his kick and at the same time push his chin back to throw. 1, 2.
An advantage of Hapkido as a martial art are the many throwing techniques. Psychologically, when you throw your opponent to the ground, he feels humiliated and defeated. Throwing also causes a lot of damage to the assailant. If he doesn't know how to fall properly, he gets hurt, giving you the advantage in a self-defense situation. As he grabs the wrist, Grandmaster Han moves in quickly to the outside, hooks his leg, completes the throw. Okay, watch closely now. He reverses the wrist grab, grabs his opponent. At that point, he applies the palm heel for leverage. He steps in, hooks the opponent's right leg, and pushes down on the face, throwing him. Keep control of your opponent by holding his wrist, even though he's on the ground.
This time, defense against cross hand grab. And I'm going to do deflecting and arm bar.
As your opponent grabs, reverse his grip with a sharp turn of your right hand. Apply your arm bar to the elbow. The pressure on the elbow fully controls your opponent. The pain is excruciating. If your opponent tries to resist, just apply more pressure. Very simple. Now step forward and push down. Keep the elbow point as the pressure point. When practicing with your partner, exercise extreme caution when doing these techniques. They're very lethal. Practice very slowly and quickly with control. Don't hesitate. As soon as he grabs, react. If you wait a second longer, he could punch you or kick you within that period of time. That's how fast techniques are happening in a real self-defense situation.
Well, this time I'm going to use his wrist to twist, throw him away.
Now, as the assailant grabs, it is very important to reverse the grip, controlling him on the ground, applying pressure to the elbow. Come around with your left hand, grabbing under his palm, break the grip, added pressure with your right hand, twist his wrist around. He will go with the flow or be severely injured. Notice how Grandmaster Han steps back to execute the technique. His stance is extremely strong when throwing his opponent. Notice how stable and upright the body is. He doesn't lose his balance or control. He stands over his assailant with great power, and that's the position you want to be in. You do not want to be rolling on the ground with your opponent. You want to control him and be over him.
Well, this time I'm going to lock his arm.
Watch carefully. Grandmaster Han steps forward with his left foot, bringing leverage into the opponent, coming around with his left arm, lifting up on the elbow. Simple, very lethal technique. Creates a tremendous amount of pain in the elbow region of the assailant. Let's take a closer look now. As the assailant grabs, Grandmaster Han reverses the grip, steps in closely, comes around with the left, pushes down with his right hand, lifts up on his left hand, creating pressure on the elbow. So the technique is to push down on the attacker's wrist and push up on his elbow, all at the same time. Once you have your opponent in this position, you can walk him wherever you want to go, like to the police station. This technique will conclude the video on Purple Belt training. We hope you have enjoyed the series and you are now ready for your next tape. Remember, practice every day.
I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and remember, in order to perfect each technique, you must practice every day. Hapkido techniques are extremely lethal, so you must exercise extreme caution and control when training with your partner. And always remember, your Hapkido skills are never to be misused and are only to be applied in a self-defense situation when there is absolutely no other means of escape. I wish you great success in your training and look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thank you.